Beloved, lay down your armor for a moment. I see how heavy it has become. I see how long you've been holding everything up. Not just the visible things, not just the tasks, not just the responsibilities, but the atmosphere, the tone in the room, the emotions no one else wanted to touch. You became the steady one, the reliable one, the one who doesn't fall apart, and you did it so quietly. Most people don't notice the effort it takes to stay composed when you're running on empty. They don't see how your shoulders tighten when another problem appears, how your chest feels heavy before the day even begins. You learned how to brace yourself before your feet hit the floor. You answer the calls, you show up, you keep your voice even. Even when inside, you're tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. There's a kind of exhaustion that comes from carrying what isn't entirely yours, from absorbing what others don't know how to hold. And you've been strong for so long that strength has started to feel like a requirement, like something you're not allowed to set down. I'm not looking at you with expectation. I'm not measuring how well you're holding it together. I just see how heavy it has been and how long you've been standing. You've gotten very good at saying, "I'm fine." It comes out smoothly, almost automatically. A small lift in your voice, a careful half smile, just enough to move the conversation along. You know how to redirect attention, how to make a joke, how to ask about someone else instead. It's easier that way, because if you pause too long, if you let the silence stretch, someone might notice the strain in your eyes. Being the strong one means people assume you're steady. They lean into you without wondering what you're leaning on. And after a while, it starts to feel strange to imagine anyone asking how you are and actually waiting for the real answer. There's a loneliness in that. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a quiet space where your own feelings sit without much air. You've carried sadness politely. You've tucked away frustration carefully. You've swallowed disappointment before it could inconvenience anyone. It's tiring to edit yourself all day, to filter your exhaustion into something more acceptable, more manageable. I'm not asking you to explain it. I just notice the effort. The way you hold your expression steady when you'd rather let it fall. You don't have to perform here. You don't have to keep your voice level with me. I see what's underneath the "I'm fine." Somewhere along the way, people began to depend on you, not just for help, for stability. You became the place they bring their worries, their confusion, their sharp edges, and you hold them carefully. You listen, you reassure, you make room. But when the room empties, it's very quiet. There isn't always someone waiting to carry what you've been holding. They see you as capable, grounded, unshakable. It sounds like a compliment. Sometimes it is, but it can also feel like a wall, because when everyone believes you're solid, they don't think to check whether you're cracking. So you've learned to process things alone, late at night, in the car. In the few minutes between one responsibility and the next, you swallow tears before they rise too far. You steady your breathing before anyone notices. You tell yourself it's not that heavy, even when it is. There's a distance that forms when you are always the anchor. Anchors don't drift toward anyone. They stay in place. and staying in place can feel very far away. I'm aware of how isolated that can be. To be surrounded by people and still feel like the only one bracing against the current. You were never meant to disappear inside your own strength. I'm here with you in the quiet after everyone else has leaned on you. There's a part of you that wonders what would happen if you stopped, if you didn't answer right away, if you didn't smooth things over, if you let something remain unresolved. It feels risky, like pulling one small thread and watching everything loosen. You've held things together for so long that your body doesn't quite know how to unclench. Even rest feels unfamiliar. When you sit still, your mind keeps scanning, checking, preparing. Because what if something needs you? What if someone falters? What if the quiet becomes too loud? Strength has been your armor, and armor is heavy, but taking it off can feel even more vulnerable than carrying it. There's a fear that if you allow yourself to feel all of it, the fatigue, the resentment, the grief, it might spill over. It might not stop. So you tighten your grip instead. You steady your face. You keep going. I'm not asking you to drop anything. I'm not asking you to risk collapse. I just notice how alert you stay, how rarely you give your nervous system permission to soften. You have been standing guard for a long time. And even in this moment, I can feel how carefully you're holding yourself together. You don't have to stand right now. I'm not here to hand you anything else to carry. No new expectations, no quiet assignments, no reminder of who needs you tomorrow. Just this moment. You can feel the surface beneath you, the weight of your own body settling, the simple rhythm of your breathing. You don't have to manage the room with me. You don't have to anticipate my reaction. You don't have to keep your posture straight. If your shoulders want to drop, let them. If your face feels tired, it can be tired. I am not measuring you by how well you endure. I'm not impressed by how much you can survive. I care about the part of you that is weary, the part that doesn't want to be admirable, the part that just wants to exhale without being needed. You can let the silence stretch here. Nothing will fall apart because you paused with me. Nothing is being tested. You are not being evaluated. I am simply here, close enough that you don't have to brace, close enough that you don't have to explain. You've been carrying so much for so long. For this moment, you can feel what it's like to not be the strong one. And I'm still beside you.